Hi, this is Emma Miller. I'm calling about the Justin Miller Memorial Scholarship Fund. My cousin Scott set it up last year.
Memorial Scholarship Fund? Let me pull up our records. Miller. I am sorry, Miss Miller. We have absolutely no record of that fund.
That can't be right. It raised almost $100,000. Maybe it's under a different name?
I've checked every scholarship account, active and pending. There's nothing tied to a Justin Miller.
The phone trembled in Emma's hand. She had thanked donors, promised the first scholarship cycle, all for a fund that existed only on a GoFundMe page.
Scott lied to everyone.
She managed a polite goodbye and ended the call. Outside Jefferson High, the afternoon sun beat down on an empty parking lot. Inside, a bomb had gone off. Emma stood frozen in her living room, the phone dangling from her fingers, her father's photo on the mantel blurring through tears of fury. In that moment, grief hardened into something else. The scholarship was a lie. Now she had to find out why. But the fuse had been lit 14 months earlier, on a gray May afternoon when the fishing boat didn't come back.
I never got to say goodbye. Not really.
Her cousin Scott worked the crowd with a rehearsed sympathy, shaking hands, promising to keep Justin's memory alive 3 days after the funeral. Without a word to Emma, Scott opened his laptop and started a GoFundMe. He called it Justin's Memorial Scholarship Fund, uploaded the same photo from the easel, and typed a plea about legacy.
Help me honor my uncle. Every dollar goes to scholarships for kids at his old high school.
The donations began almost immediately. $5, $20, $100 from neighbors, union buddies, and strangers touched by the photo.
At least something beautiful might come from this. Dad would have loved it.
But Scott had already linked the campaign to his personal bank account. Not a single dollar ever reached a 501c3. And because Emma never asked to see the statements, the lie grew uncontested for 14 months. Week after week, the numbers climbed. 20,000 became 40. 40 became 60.
People will donate to anything if you slap a dead man's photo on it.
Justin's old union local sent a check for $5,000, collected in a steel lunchbox. Fishing buddies emptied their wallets at Harvey's Bait and Tackle, pushing crumpled bills into a jar.
Scott, I don't know how to thank you. Dad would be so proud of what you are doing.
It's the least I can do, Em. I just want to honor him.
But every withdrawal landed in Scott's personal Chase account. The deposits matched the GoFundMe totals exactly, down to the dollar. By August 2025, the campaign sat at $94,400. Not a penny had moved toward a scholarship.
No one's ever going to check. I just have to keep the story going.
And Emma, lost in grief, marked her calendar to finally coordinate the scholarship cycle. Without a plan, she typed the GoFundMe URL from memory. The campaign page loaded, still celebrating $94,400 raised.
14 months, and I never once looked at the transaction history.
She clicked the donation records. A spreadsheet of names unfolded. Neighbors, co-workers, her father's oldest fishing friend. Then the withdrawal log, each transfer time-stamped, to an account ending in Scott's name.
No separate fund, no scholarship account, just his checking account.
The numbers matched exactly. Every donation had been siphoned directly into his pocket. She printed the statement, the paper curling from the printer like an indictment.
I have to know if there was ever a plan for a 501c3.
She entered the fund's name into the IRS tax-exempt organization search. 0 results. No application. No determination letter. The lie was absolute. To build an airtight case, she needed the other half of the transaction, Scott's bank records.
He wouldn't just hand them over, but he still got mail at Grandma's.
That Sunday, under the guise of a family visit, She slipped into the spare bedroom where Scott's childhood desk still sat. Inside, beneath expired coupons and old greeting cards, she found a Chase Bank envelope with the latest statement.
Every single dollar. Same dates, same amounts.
She photographed every page, hands trembling, then slid the envelope back exactly as she'd found it.
I have everything I need. Now, I just need to hear him lie to my face.
That night, she printed the photographs and lined them up next to the GoFundMe printouts. The timeline was undeniable. 14 months of theft, right there in black and white.
Tomorrow, I'm going to his apartment. No more secrets.
The next morning, Emma stood at Scott's door, the printed statements heavy in her bag, the sky threatening rain.
Scott, we need to talk. Something isn't adding up with the scholarship fund.
Adding up. The fund is fine. Big payout coming soon. I am just finalizing the scholarship committee.
She dropped the bank statements on the coffee table. The dates and amounts aligned perfectly with the GoFundMe withdrawals.
That money's in a separate savings account. I've just been swamped. Haven't filed the 501c3 yet.
A separate account? The statements show every deposit landed in checking. He's lying straight to my face.
Look, I'll handle it. You've been through enough. Let me carry this for the family. I promise it's all for your dad.
You are right, Scott. I am sure you've got it under control. Thanks for explaining.
She left, the apartment door clicking shut like a cell. Outside, the storm broke, rain masking the tears of rage.
He's a liar. I need a lawyer, someone who can tear this apart and make it right.
By noon, she sat in the glass-walled office of Marcus Chen, a lawyer known for untangling financial fraud.
My cousin collected $94,000 for a memorial fund that doesn't exist. I have the bank records.
And there's no tax-exempt filing, no Form 990. This isn't just mismanagement, it's clear misappropriation of charitable donations.
He spread the papers across his desk. GoFundMe withdrawals, Chase deposits, the empty IRS database.
We can refer this to the IRS Criminal Division, the State AJ's Charitable Fraud Unit, and GoFundMe's trust team all at once.
He slid a draft referral letter toward her, 3 logos printed at the top. IRS, State Seal, GoFundMe.
If I sign this, there's no going back. Scott could face real prison time.
You are the victim here, Emma. The donors are the victims. This is about restoring what was stolen, not just the money, but your father's name.
Emma's eyes fixed on her father's photo, which she'd placed beside the letter when she sat down.
Give me 24 hours. I need to be sure I can carry this through.
That night, Emma sat alone in her kitchen, the referral letter spread before her, her father's photo, leaning against the salt shaker.
He used Dad's name to steal. If I do nothing, I'm letting that stand forever.
Her phone buzzed. Her mother's voice trembled with weary gratitude for Scott's hard work on the fund.
He's really putting his heart into it, Mom. I am sure Dad would be grateful.
But the real voice in her head wasn't her mother's, it was her father's, from a fishing trip years ago.
Integrity's not what you do when people are watching, Em. It's what you do when no one is.
She looked at the letter, then at the photo, and the last trace of hesitation evaporated.
Marcus, it's Emma. Prepare the referral. All 3 agencies. I am done waiting.
She hung up and slid the signed draft into an envelope, the weight of the decision already lighter than the guilt of inaction.
Dad, I promise you, I'll make them see the truth.
The next morning, Emma walked back into Marcus Chen's office, the signed referral envelope heavy in her hand, her father's photo tucked inside her jacket pocket.
I'm ready. Let's make it official. No more delays.
Once these go out, the clock starts. Are you absolutely certain?
I've never been more certain of anything.
She signed the triplicate forms, one for the IRS Criminal Division, one for the State AG's Fraud Unit, and one for GoFundMe's Trust and Safety Team. Marcus sealed the signed originals into a single certified mail envelope, the tracking number sticker freshly affixed, the ink still drying. Emma drove to the main post office alone and, with a trembling but steady hand, slid the envelope into the blue collection box.
For you, Dad. This is the only way I can protect your name.
The certified envelope, now out of her hands, began its journey through the postal system, its three-headed referral impossible to recall.
Done. I did the right thing. Whatever happens now, I can face it, because Dad would have wanted the truth.
48 hours after the envelope left her hands, the GoFundMe Trust and Safety Team acted. The campaign froze mid-pulse. The donation button vanished, replaced by a sterile notice of investigation. Simultaneously, automatic refund emails began firing to every donor, each subject line a quiet confession. Your donation has been refunded.
No, this isn't possible. They're refunding everything.
He checked the campaign page again. The counter remained frozen at $94,400, but now it was public, a silent indictment.
Emma, what did you do? The fund is frozen. Over $90,000 in refunds. Are you insane?
I didn't steal the money, Scott. I just made sure the people you robbed got it back.
You destroyed me. The family will never forgive you.
The family already knows. They're getting their money back. You are the only one who hasn't figured it out yet.
The line went dead. Emma set the phone down, her father's photo still looking at her. The rain outside finally stopped. The IRS referral landed on the desk of Agent Carla Reyes, who opened a preliminary tax evasion investigation against Scott Miller. Within days, a certified letter from the IRS arrived at Scott's apartment, demanding income disclosure for the past 2 years.
They're auditing me? Over a GoFundMe? This can't be happening.
Before he could react, a second envelope arrived, this one from the State Attorney General's office, notifying him of a charitable fraud inquiry.
Marcus, I just got a letter from the AG. They're investigating the fund. What do I do?
The IRS and the state AJ are both involved now. This is serious, Scott. You need to cooperate fully or you'll face charges.
The lawyer's words hit like a verdict. Scott stood in his living room, surrounded by unopened mail, the walls closing in.
She did this, Emma, and I can't lie my way out anymore.
The net had tightened. GoFundMe had refunded everyone, and now the government had him in its crosshairs. For the first time, Scott realized that the memorial fund might cost him more than he ever imagined. Scott's lawyer, surveying the impossible odds, called the district attorney's office to negotiate a plea.
Fine. I'll plead guilty to the fraud and pay back every dollar. Just make the felony go away.
The charge was reduced to misdemeanor fraud. A week later, Scott stood in a cold courtroom, his lawyer beside him.
Guilty, Your Honor. I took the donations and used them for personal expenses.
The judge's gavel struck wood. The plea was accepted. Misdemeanor fraud, restitution of $94,400.
He said it out loud. Finally, the truth. Dad can rest.
Scott was led away in handcuffs, his eyes finding Emma's for one brief, unreadable moment before the door closed. That afternoon, a cashier's check for $94,400 landed on the court clerk's desk, payable to the supervised fund.
Now the real work begins. I have 90 days to build the charity Dad deserved.
The next morning, Emma walked into a small accounting firm, a stack of IRS forms clutched under her arm, and asked the CPA to help her build a charity from scratch.
I need to establish a 501(c)(3) Justin's Memorial Scholarship Fund. The money is waiting at the court. I have 90 days.
For 3 weeks, she worked nights, filling out the 28-page Form 1023, drafting bylaws, and writing a conflict of interest policy that would make her father proud.
Every sentence I write, I imagine Dad reading over my shoulder, making sure it's built on integrity.
The application went in mid-summer. The wait was excruciating. Every email notification made her heart race. Then, 6 weeks later, a thick envelope from the IRS landed in her mailbox. We are pleased to inform you that your application for tax-exempt status under Section 501(c)(3) has been approved.
We did it, Dad. It's real now.
With the determination letter in hand, Marcus filed the motion to release the funds. The judge signed the order the same week.
Finally, the money is where it always belonged, under Dad's name, with a real charity.
That Monday, Emma walked into a local bank with the IRS determination letter and the signed court order, ready to open the charity's first account.
I need to open a checking account for a 501(c)(3), the Justin Miller Memorial Scholarship Fund.
The banker processed the paperwork, and within an hour, the account was active, a clean, empty ledger waiting. 2 days later, the court-supervised fund wired $94,400 into the account. Emma stared at the balance, her breath catching.
Gail, it's Emma Miller. The fund is real now. Approved, funded, ready. Can you help me announce the scholarship application?
Absolutely, Emma. We'll post it on the school website and send a newsletter to families. The kids will be thrilled.
Word spread quickly. The bogus fund was replaced by a legitimate one, and a few skeptical donors, heartened by the transparency, mailed small checks of their own. By the end of the month, a thick bundle of applications arrived, envelopes addressed in careful handwriting, each one a life story seeking a chance.
47 applications. Every one of them talks about Dad's values: hard work, fishing at dawn, giving back. I always knew he left a legacy. Now it's my job to choose who carries it forward.
One essay stopped her cold. A senior named Leah Morrissey, who wrote about fishing with her grandfather at the same lake where Justin Miller spent his weekends.
She gets it. She understands why dawn on the water matters, why a quiet boat is a cathedral.
Leah had a 3.8 GPA, worked weekends at a bait shop, and needed financial aid to attend state school. Every sentence a mirror of the hard, honest life Emma's father respected.
There are 46 other deserving kids, but Dad would pick this one. The girl who mends nets and still makes honor roll.
She placed Leah's application on top of the pile and dialed the number listed under parent.
Mrs. Morrissey, this is Emma Miller. I am calling about the Justin Miller Memorial Scholarship. Leah has been selected.
On the other end, a woman's breath caught, then a quavering thank you that needed no other words.
This is why I fought. Not for vengeance, but for this one moment. A door opening for a kid like Dad would have helped.
The school set the date for September 15th. The auditorium reserved, a banner already being printed. First annual Justin Miller Memorial Scholarship. Emma stood alone on the empty stage the night before, a single chair in the front row, already marked reserved for Scott Miller, a silent reminder of all that had been lost and rebuilt. At sunrise, her phone buzzed. Scott's message glowed on the screen. Emma, please, I just want to sit in the back and watch, for Uncle Justin.
For Dad? You stole $94,000 from people who loved him. You don't get to sit anywhere in this room.
She deleted the message without a reply and drove to the school, the morning sun casting long shadows across the empty parking lot. Inside the auditorium, a low hum of voices already filled the air. Teachers, family, friends, and former donors had come to witness the first scholarship.
I should feel anxious, but all I feel is steady. This is the moment everything led to.
Her eyes found the front row. Scott's chair still sat empty, the reserved sign still taped to its back.
He didn't come. That chapter is finally closed.
The principal's introduction faded as Emma walked to the microphone, her father's photo bright on the screen behind her.
This is your moment, Dad. I am just the one carrying it forward.
A hush fell over the crowd. Emma leaned into the microphone, her voice ready to break the silence.
Thank you all for being here. A year ago, I stood in my living room and learned that my father's memorial fund was a lie. But today, that same name, Justin Miller, is on a real scholarship, built from the ground up with honesty and hard work. My dad taught me that integrity means doing the right thing when no one is watching, and this scholarship is a promise to keep doing exactly that.
A soft murmur of approval rippled through the audience. A few former donors nodded, their faith restored.
This scholarship was almost lost to greed, but tonight we're giving it to someone who embodies everything my father believed in.
She paused, her gaze moving to the empty chair in the front row, then back to the crowd.
Leah Morrissey, would you please come up to the stage?
A teenage girl in the third row rose, her mother beside her, tears already streaming down both their faces. Leah walked toward the stage, her footsteps echoing in the silent hall. Emma handed her the certificate, their hands meeting for the first time. The audience leaned forward, waiting for the dedication.
For Justin, who taught me that integrity is the only inheritance that matters.
A collective breath. Then the applause broke, raw, grateful, and long. Leah threw her arms around Emma, the certificate crinkling between them. In the front row, Scott's chair still sat empty, a silent vacancy no one filled. Former donors crowded around Emma and Leah, some pressing cash into a donation jar, all wanting to be part of something honest.
The fund isn't just restored, it's alive.
A union rep, the same who had donated to the fake fund, pressed a new check into Emma's hand. For next year, he said, voice thick. The spotlight fell on Justin's photo, illuminating the words first annual beneath it.
We did it, Dad. Your name means something good again.
The applause began again, but Emma barely heard it. She was lost in a quiet, private victory. After the ceremony, a long line formed. Strangers, friends, and former donors wanting to shake her hand or whisper an apology. An older man, one of Justin's fishing buddies, pressed cash into her hand and said his donation would now be an annual pledge.
Dad's world was always bigger than I knew. It reaches across this entire town.
She stepped aside, unfolding a handwritten note that read, I am so sorry I believed the lie. Thank you for rebuilding Justin's name.
This is what integrity feels like, when strangers trust your word again.
She pulled her father's old photo from her bag, the one from a foggy morning on the lake, his smile unchanged.
You are still here, Dad, in every person who showed up tonight.
A tear slipped onto the glass, but this time it wasn't grief, it was something closer to relief. Behind her, the donation jar was already full, a tangible promise of more scholarships to come.
The fund will outlive both of us, Dad. That's more than enough.
A year later, the auditorium celebration faded into a grainy crossfade, a cramped studio apartment, bare walls, a single mattress on the floor. Scott sat on the mattress, his phone the only light, scrolling past a blocked Facebook profile.
She took everything. No, I threw it away.
His screen could only show the ghost of Emma's world, a post from the second annual scholarship ceremony, glowing just out of reach. Year 2. We awarded 3 scholarships tonight. New applications open tomorrow. Number Justin's Legacy. Across town, Emma's desk was already covered with application packets, a calendar marked for a 3rd scholarship cycle.
Dad would be proud. I am too.
Back in the dim apartment, a probation officer's notice lay unopened on the floor beside an empty bank envelope. No family visits, no calls, just the hum of a refrigerator he could barely afford to fill. The screen split for the last time, an empty chair beside a dusty fishing rod in his apartment. A stage full of teenagers applauding in hers. The morning after the 2nd scholarship ceremony, Emma drove to the cemetery with a small framed photo from the event in her bag. She knelt and placed the photo against the headstone, right beside a small fishing lure she'd left years before.
It's real, Dad. The scholarship, the kids, all of it. And it's never going to be a lie again.
A tear slipped onto the grass. She didn't wipe it away.
I kept my promise. Your name means good again.
She stood, brushing grass from her knees, and lingered for just a moment longer. As she walked away, the scene dissolved into an old, sunlit photograph. Justin and a teenage Emma on a fishing boat, laughing at dawn. The still frame held for a long breath, the lake sparkling, the smile unchanged. Then, the image began to fade into a graduation cap with a fishing rod charm resting on a stack of books. The screen held the image for a moment, then slowly, gently faded to black. For a long moment there was only darkness, the quiet weight of a story told. And then, from the void, a voice, soft, certain, uttered the truth Emma had always known. Some legacies can't be stolen. They have to be earned. Emma earned hers. And her father's name, once a ghost, now meant something money could never buy. The scholarship continued. Year after year, a small boat against the tide of indifference. And somewhere, on a quiet lake at dawn, a ripple broke the surface, then faded to stillness. The screen held the image for a final breath. Then the last light went out. In the end, the truth was a small flame, but it burned long enough to light a future. Real legacies aren't built on what you take. They're built on what you give back. Thank you for watching.